Canes thoroughly and completely dominated the New York Rangers. And that right there is good for at least a solid 24 hours. Unless you're a Canes/UNC basketball fan. But that's a conversation for later in the show.
Enjoy the bright sunny day while you can.
Right now, Freddie Anderson got his first shutout of the season and earned it. Had some real highlight saves. Got some help from his team, but the toe save on Kreider.
Yeah, I think Kreider didn't realize how much time he had.
The fast break stop on Zibanejad.
That was a great one.
I like, sometimes you see this, like, posted the X amount of times, shutout for the 7th time against this opponent, and then you watch it, and it's like they faced 6 shots, and all of them were from the face-off circle or further. And it's like, all right, well, good on you, but that's a team one. I like that he earned a few of them. I also like that his team helped him out. Andrei Svechnikov. Turns out all he needed to I don't know if it was loosen up, I don't know if it was level up, I don't know what it is. All he needed was a bigger scoring winger out there, like, as well. It's like, hey, guess what? I don't have to be the physically imposing big dude on the wing anymore. He can do that. I'll just score goals. How's that sound?
It's like, it looks like me, just 10 years older.
Hopefully. 2 goals, 3-point night. So good to see him clicking with the new guys, right? Because
Taylor Hall,
and he just kind of moved his one, and the second goal he scored set up beautifully by Rantanen. So seeing him click, if the trade, because this is how, you give up a lot for a guy, or you're going to have to pay a lot for a guy. That's how the trade really becomes like the ultimate win. Obviously, a big part of it is you just get players of the caliber of Mikko Rantanen and Taylor Hall, and you get their, improved skill set over whoever was playing those minutes before. But also, if you get 100% of Rantanen, 100% of Taylor Hall, and 30% more production from Svech, and 20% more production from Aho, then you start adding all of that up, right? They unlock higher levels of each other. It's even better. Speaking of, Aho scores a goal that gets to show off the skill a bit, right? Gets to pile on, I guess you could say, with the Rangers, which has to feel good. Jarvis has a goal set up perfectly by Stahl and Martinook, right? The old guys do all the work, and Jarvis just gets...
Those are his dads.
Time. I never know how to say that on air. Am I really going to go like, hey, Jarvis and his dads...
And his pops, let's go.
Thanks, Dad, as he has all the time and space he needs right in front of the goal to handpick where he wants to put it, and he gets the goal. The new guys contributing to 2 goals, as I mentioned, both of Svech's. I think we saw the difference. It's a win with how well they played, with how well Freddie played, with how well the puck was moving. I think that's a win even if Rantanen and Hall aren't there. The team played well. I don't want to take that away from the guys that have been around. But I think it's probably like a 2-0 or a 2-1 win. Late goals from Aho and Jarvis, right? Like we sweat it out. The way it happened, comfortable, dare I say. Right? You start entering into the third period, and you know what? You're not worried about jinxing it. You're not having to throw salt over your shoulder every time you say they look good, because it was comfortable. You'd think, by the way, with 4 goals, that Shesterkin, Igor, had a bad day. Like, oh wow, that's unlike Shesterkin. I think he actually played pretty well. I think the Canes were getting so many good shot attempts, high leverage shot attempts, that Shesterkin was turning away his share of wow, goalie saved him there. He had his share of that and still gave up 4.
He had one on Mikko Rantanen. It was kind of like a 2-on-0, 2-on-1 with Jackson Blake and Mikko Rantanen. Jackson Blake puts it over to Rantanen, and Shesterkin makes a pad save. I'm like, dang it, I was hoping that Rantanen would get that first.
I did want, just to be selfish, I wanted Rantanen's first point as a Cane to be like a hammer from distance. just something aggressive, highlight-worthy. And then, of course, right, you don't know even what you want, because you see him with the unbelievable feed from Blake, first of all, and then the unbelievable sense to drop it off back for Svech, and with, just a small margin of error for the window for the pass to get through. As soon as it does, Fetch is just tapping it in. And as a good teammate will do, watch Fetch as soon as he scores. Andrei Svechnikov, as soon as he scores, is quickly like head on a swivel looking for Rantanen to point to him and say, we'll keep the goal on my stat sheet. Like I'm gonna have it in my column, but that's all you, bud. Like, appreciate it. It was good. I'm normally I do try to look at everything from 100 different angles, right? If a team wins, I'm looking for what could they have done better, right? If a team dominates, I'm looking for what could they repeat from that performance. After last night, I don't want to get that in deep. Right now, one of my favorite movies, and this isn't a sports movie reference, it's just one of my favorite movies, Good Will Hunting. The scene where, spoiler alert for a movie from 1997, scene where Matt Damon had gone on one date with Minnie Driver's character. Will Hunting had gone on one date with Minnie Driver's character, and he's talking to his therapist about how he's not going to call her because right now she's perfect. And if you go on a second date, he's going to learn something annoys him, or he's going to learn something that's not perfect about her, and he's right now in his mind she's perfect. That's how I'm treating last night's game. I don't even want to go back and watch highlights. I don't want to go see that, a Rangers player misplayed a pass. I just want to believe the pass was perfect and unguardable. I want it to be perfect in my brain because that's how fun last night was. Rod Brind'Amour, after the game, talked about all of the scoring chances in transition with those new players, meaning Rantanen and Hall, added to the roster.
The players we've added, we're going to probably see a little more of that kind of stuff versus maybe some of the others the way we've been playing. So there's a little transition going on here, but we get open ice with the players we've added. I think you're going to see a little more of that.
Going to see a little more of that.
Sign me up.
You darn right. And this hasn't always been the case with the Canes. So especially in regular season games like this. And postseason as well, now that I think it through. Hasn't always been the case with the Canes. That comfort that I was talking about. Up 2-0 and feeling like, all right, they'll either slam the door by eliminating all chances the Rangers have, and they pretty much did. That third period, Rangers weren't exactly peppering Freddie Anderson with shots.
Three shots on goal. That's it.
Is that all it was?
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like 3. I was going to say it felt like 5 or 6 even, but 3 is incredible.
Nope.
So either they were going to shut the door that way or they were going to find a way to score a couple. You didn't have the impending, like, this is going to come down to the wire, isn't it? This is going to be a 1-goal game. You didn't have that. And I can't explain it. It's like goosebumps, right? You can't choose to have them pop up on your forearm, but when they do, you're like, what I'm watching is cool. Watching that game, I was comfortable at the end. And Rod Brind'Amour, again, the head coach, after the game, about their ability to close the door.
Yeah, I'd probably put it, a little bit of a dagger in there when we score right away like that. And then I like the way we played the rest of the period. We had to give it one really good chance with Zibanejad there on breakaway. But other than that, they really didn't have much. So that's the way you got to play it.
Complete team victory. Complete team victory. Which, again, it just makes me feel even better than I did originally, and I loved it at first for the trade. Those guys are already leveling up the players around them. We talked about it yesterday. We shouldn't have expected, and we didn't expect, 3 goals and 2 assists between the two of them. We set the over-under for us being like ecstatic at 1.5 points. They got 2, Hall and Rantanen. And then on top of that, they turned in what I think was one of, if not the best performance the Canes have had this year. If that's where they are when they're still building chemistry, I can't wait to see what they look like a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, assuming that they continue to build. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Oh, and one more thing. The new guys were back-checking, which had to make Rod Brind'Amour go like, oh, goody, goody, goody.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rod Brind'Amour has ever said, oh, goody, 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 but he was thinking it.
Mm-hmm.
He was thinking it.
100%.
Mikko gets the interception. Would have been Panarin set up right on the backside of the goal. He's back-checking. He's right where he should be, and he gets his stick on the puck. Again, he didn't say it, but Rod Brind'Amour was squealing with joy. Ooh, goody, goody, goody. Maybe not.